Hey, what's up and welcome back to Graphic Heroes. Now today I'm giving you my top 10 most interesting comic books to drop this week, that's February 12th. So whether you're a diehard fan or just getting started with almost 200 new releases hitting the shelves this week, there's something for everybody. So grab your favorite snacks, drinks, sit back, relax, and let's dive right into the top 10 most interesting comics hitting the shelves. So starting us off, in the number 10 slot, we've got Marvel Mutts number 1. This is going to be a collected stories dropping issues 1 through 12, and they're guaranteed to elicit a funny round of applause. Alright, check out the cover. This comic's going to feature Lockjaw, Lucky, Cosmo, Bats, and Miss Marvel's dearest doggy, Mittens. This comic is set to pack some serious cuteness, so go fetch your copy and have a ball with Marvel's Mightiest Mutts. Alright, hitting us in the number 9 slot, we got The Girl Called Cthulhu. So this comic is intended for mature audiences. Now this is number 4 in the series, inspired by the true World War II maritime operations, shocking satanic events, monstrous men, and one salacious sea creature. This third series tells the tale of Minky's encounter with the legendary horror writer H.P. Lovecraft. You know, the creator of Cthulhu. But look, man, I'm a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, so this looks interesting to me. Alright, here we go. Hitting us in the number 8 slots, we've got The Moon is Following Us. Now, this is number 6 of the run. All hope is lost. Or is it? New nightmares are here to guide whoever may be left in Penny's dangerous dreams. And to be honest, I just thought the cover art looked sick, and sometimes the cover art alone is enough to really capture the interest of the reader, so this comic definitely looked interesting to me. Alright, here we go. Hitting us with the lucky 7, we got Dark Horse Comics is giving us Star Wars Bad Batch Ghost Agents number 1. So the Bad Batch is back, and they're giving us another high-octane adventure set during the Clone Wars. This thing looks super fun, and if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, this is set to just drive some more good content home. Okay, number 6. Oh, yeah. Alright, so number 6, we got Creepshow in Love. Yeah, okay, alright. So number 6, it does look interesting. It does look interesting. What more do you need to, what more do I need to say about this? It's Creepshow. Alright, listen. It's, for those of you who may be unaware, this upcoming weekend is going to be Valentine's Day. So this horror-themed comic is doing something in honor of the holiday. Okay, moving right along to number 5, we got Bug Wars number 1. And look, you want to make a comic book look interesting? Just let Peach Momoko do the cover. I'm interested. Slade Slaymaker is a kid from Alabama suddenly lost in a vicious world beyond his imagining. It's a world with ant armies, spell-casting spider witches, and beetle-riding barbarians. A kingdom of tiny but deadly warriors hidden in his own backyard. And it's the same world that saw his father eaten alive by insects. Young Sade is plunged deep into the middle of a brutal bug war, and he has to decide the fate of his family. And you got a star-studded team working on the comic. People who've worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Absolute Superman, Conan the Barbarian, X-Men, Batman and Robin, just to name a few things. So this comic definitely looks interesting to me. Okay, in the number 4 slot. All right. Don't judge a book by its cover. Obviously, the cover looks provocative. But this is in the number 4 slot because the content of the comic sounds very intriguing to me. So this is what this thing is about. What would you do if you had the chance to live forever? Would you choose it? Well, that's what the new life is offering. A chance to transcend, to transfer your mind and consciousness into the metaverse, inside an avatar of your choosing. It's giving you the opportunity to leave the real world behind and live in a digital one. But when she enters her new life, she finds that the simulation may not be all she bargained for. So I don't entirely know how that translates to a comic book. It may actually work better as a television series, but this idea of uploading your consciousness to an algorithmic metaverse, It sounds like interesting content. So that's the number 4 slot. In the number 3 slot, boom, look at it. What do I need to say? You got Wolverine, you got Deadpool, and what are they fighting? Some kind of skeleton dinosaur? You got my interest. Boom, number 3. What more do I need to say? All right, so we only got 2 left. Now, before we do that, should I give a couple honorable mentions? Let me give you one honorable mention, and then we'll finish off the last 2. In my honorable mention slot, this is Eddie Brock Carnage. So if you're following the Venom story, you know that Eddie Brock's not Venom anymore, and they're debating about, well, they're not debating about, they're kind of leading us on to find out who the new Venom is. He's one of 4 people at this point. 4 people? 4 people. He's one of 4 people at this point. And Eddie Brock is apparently now Carnage. So what does that look like? I guess my question is this. If Eddie Brock was originally a villain as Venom, knowing Carnage is a villain, is Eddie going to make Carnage a anti-hero? And do we even want to see that? It's nice to sometimes let villains be villains. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comment section. Anyway, okay, here we go. Back to the list. Number 2, this is called Beyond the Pale. The cover looks interesting. Check out what she's taking a photo of. Let me give you a brief breakdown of what this thing is supposed to be about. So this thing is going to be about Hedda Sawyer, who's a war correspondent looking into the disproportionate loss of black GIs in the Vietnam War. So something sinister is happening at this fire-based Tartarus. And the deeper Hedda digs, the more she finds herself spiraling into madness. So I don't know about you, but this comic looks intriguing, looks like the story is going to be compelling, and the artwork looks pretty sick to me. So I am most interested in checking this one out. All right, here we go. The moment we have all waited for, at least for me, to tell you what I think my number 1 most interesting comic book to drop this week is... Yo, Jack, you're just doing too much. Sorry, sometimes I just get a little excited about this content. Okay, in my number 1 slot, this thing is called Mine is a Long, Lonesome Grave. This is going to be the first issue of the run. It's got a star-studded team behind the project. And basically, this is what it's about. You were following this guy, Harley, right? Harley, what's his last name? Creed. So we're following this guy, Harley Creed, who's an ex-con being released from prison. Now, Harley's a bad guy, but he used to be way worse. But now that he's being released from prison, he really only wants one thing. He wants to leave Briar Falls behind and just disappear forever. However, his only problem with that is Briar Falls is plagued with some low-level magic, kind of dirty magic, and he's having a hell of a time getting out of town because someone has put a hex on him, and he has 7 days before he dies this brutal, violent, weird, twisted death. So he's got 7 days to find out who put a hex on him and, you know, kill them before he himself is dead. And apparently, Briar Falls has a whole list of suspects who might have wanted to put a hex on him. So Harley is coming for all of them. This thing sounds dark, it sounds twisted, it sounds violent. And I'm not necessarily endorsing all that, but it does sound interesting. And it looks cool as hell. So that's my number 1 slot for most interesting drops the week of February 12th. And like I said, there's something like, honestly, I think it's like 180 comic options are dropping this week. Now, that does take into account cover variants. So, you know, like Eddie Brock Carnage, I think has 8 different cover variants. So that's 8. 1 comic, but it counts as 8. So there's almost 200 comics dropping this week. So there's a whole lot of options out there. So get to your local comic book shops, support the community, subscribe, like. If it's not too much to ask, hit that notification bell and leave a comment in the chat. Helps with the algorithm. And until next time, Stay graphic.